Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Practical Learning Assets. So I am back with another video, but this time for class 11 on political science. So this video will focus on chapter 1 of political science, that is constitution, why and how. So whenever we talk about constitution or whenever we hear about constitution or we study about constitution, the very first question that comes to our mind is, why do we need a constitution? We all can live without a constitution also. But what is the need to make a constitution? So, what is a constitution and what are its functions and why do we need a constitution? All of these questions will be answered when we will complete this chapter. So let's now discuss the question, why do we need a constitution? So the first point for this can be, constitution allows coordination and assurance. Okay, see, when we are living in a large community or in a large country like India, where we have a lot of diversity, we have different kinds of people, we have different kinds of religions, we have different types of food. So it becomes very important and necessary that all the members of the society, they cooperate each other. So why will they cooperate each other? See, when we are living in such a diverse country, all of us would have some of doubts and some of our fears that will our religion be respected, or as we have cultural diversities and we have many more diversities, we have caste-based differences also. Rather we say that we have overcome these problems, but still we have caste-based differences in our country too. So when the people belonging to different religions, different castes, they want everyone to respect them, to respect their culture and to respect their religion and to give them respect like a human being. So this is the function of our constitution. Our constitution gives us some basic rules and regulations that how we should live in a community and how we have to respect other people, and all of the laws or all of the rules and regulations that are given in the constitution, they are enforceable. If we are following the constitution and if our constitution says us to respect all the people irrespective of their religion, caste, linguistic group, anything. So when we are giving full respect to every citizen, then why will we not get the same in return? If we are giving respect to someone, the people to whom we are giving respect, they would also give the same respect to us. So this is the first function of a constitution, to provide a set of basic rules that allow for minimal coordination amongst members of a society. When the members of a society, they respect each other, they concern for each other, then only we will have a coordinated society. So this is the first function of our constitution. Then we have specification of decision-making powers. We say that the constitution has given a set of basic rules and regulations that how we need to deal with each other. But a constitution is also a body of fundamental principles according to which a state is constituted or governed. Now, who is there to govern a state? See, we are living in a diverse country. Every citizen living in this country might want some rule to be implemented, or the other citizen might not want that rule to be implemented. So, whose duty is it to implement the rules and regulations? So, our constitution gives the answer to this question. Our constitution specifies the basic allocation of power in a society. It decides who gets to decide what the laws will be. If we talk about a monarchical form of government, in that form of government, a monarch decides everything in the country, and in the constitutions like the old Soviet Union, one single party was given the power to decide. But in democratic constitutions like ours, the people get to decide. Now, how do the people decide? What rules and regulations are to be formulated? How are the people going to decide this? This is not a simple process, because if the people living in a country are to decide what rules and regulations should be formulated, then all the people from every corner of the country should come together to decide what is to be implemented and how it is to be implemented. But it would be a very long and a very difficult process. So to overcome this thing, we the people of India choose the representatives who are going to form the government, and then who will decide what policies are to be made, and they are going to govern us. But in the Indian constitution, many times Parliament decides what rules and regulations and what policies are to be made. But for this, Parliament itself should be organized in a particular manner. So if Parliament has the authority to enact laws and to make policies, then there must be a law that bestows this authority on Parliament. So the authority that bestows this authority on Parliament is our Constitution. So this is the function of our Constitution. That is, the second function of our Constitution is to specify who has the power to make decisions in a society. It decides how the government will be constituted. Then comes our third point, limitations on the powers of government. As we studied now, that the representatives who are selected by the people will govern the people, they will constitute the government. So what if these representatives, after the formation of the government, they prohibit you from doing something, or they pass such laws that are unjust and unfair? If they prohibit you from practicing some religion, or they prohibit you from singing some songs related to some religion or related to some culture, or they prohibit you from wearing a particular color, so what will we do? Even though they are elected by the people, there is something that is unjust and unfair. So the Constitution limits the power of the government in many ways. The most common way to do this is specification of some fundamental rights. There are some fundamental rights like freedom of religion and freedom to cultural and educational rights. The Constitution has mentioned these fundamental rights that all of us as citizens possess, and which no government can ever be allowed to violate. So these fundamental rights are there to protect the citizens from the monopoly of the government. If government is doing something unjust, that is totally against our Constitution, and the government has to stop that. So the third function of a Constitution is to set some limits on what a government can impose on its citizens. These limits are fundamental in the sense that government may never trespass them. Then our next point is aspirations and goals of a society. When we are living in a society, when we are living in a country like India, all the people have some aspirations and some goals regarding how India should be. Like some people would aspire India to be a society that is free of caste discrimination. Then if this is our society's aspiration, then the government has to enable some rules and regulations to fulfill this goal, to achieve this goal. Like if the people of India feel that every person in the society should have all that what is necessary for him or her to lead a life of minimal dignity and social self-respect. So the government has to take steps, has to take some measures to achieve that goal. So it is the responsibility of the government to fulfill the goals and aspirations of its citizens and to take some steps and some measures regarding that. For this, our preamble of Constitution, our fundamental rights and directive principles of state policies, they help our government to fulfill certain goals and aspirations of the people. So the fourth function of a constitution is to enable the government to fulfill the aspirations of a society and create conditions for a just society. Fundamental identity of a people. If we talk about fundamental identity of a people, this means that people as a collective entity come into being only through the basic constitution. We people come into collective identity by agreeing to certain basic norms and principles. One constitutes one's basic political identity. Then constitutional norms are the overarching framework within which one pursues individual aspirations, goals and freedoms. The Constitution sets authoritative constraints upon what one may or may not do. Most modern constitutions create a form of government that is democratic in some respects. Most claim to protect certain basic rights. Most nations are an amalgamation of a complex set of historical traditions. They weave together the diverse groups that reside within the nation in different ways. See, in our country, the Indian Constitution does not make ethnic identity a criteria for citizenship. We, people of India, do not need any ethnic identity to be a citizen of India. The relationship between different regions of the nation and the central government constitutes the national identity of the country, and the people come into basic identity only through following the Constitution. So guys, this was all for today's video. We have discussed about the functions of the Constitution and fundamental identity of people. So in the next video, we will start with authority of the Constitution. And if you guys like the content and the way I explained everything, then hit like the button and do comment in the comment section about what you feel should be included in the next video. And don't forget to subscribe my channel. Bye guys.